You are listening to an entertainment program put together by a company called Financial Ineptitude. Anything said on this show is not an endorsement or professional advice. Would you really want to tell a court of law you were suing us because you thought taking financial advice from two idiots on a podcast put out by Financial Ineptitude was a good idea? Really? Clown hat, smiley face.
Hello and welcome to the China Shop, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Shopkeeper Dan, and with me as always is Mr. Kyle, creator of FinancialIneptitude.com. How you doing today, Kyle?
I'm good. I'm excited. Got a whole lot to cover today.
So much happened this week. It was a big week. The biggest news to me was I got a negative COVID test, so I'm no longer carrying the plague. That
was your biggest news? Okay.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with the stock market. This is just the little banter we do about our personal lives before we start talking about money.
Oh, yeah. I got you.
Come on into the shop with us today. Sit back, relax, rage against the stock market machine. I'd like to welcome any new listeners with us today, just joining us. We're here to smash our way around the China Shop. Bullish on everything here at the show. Everything's going to win all the time, always.
That's what we hope.
I think we got a great show for you today. Got lots of market-moving news, plenty of stocks on the radar, and more options than a vampire at a blood bank.
Man, I was going to write down a list of those to do to propose some alternates, and I completely dropped the ball on that one.
You mean it's way harder than you thought to come up with cheesy options jokes?
No, what I mean is it's more likely I got my own game, and I decided to spend time playing that rather than doing work on the show.
All right. Yes. I know the feeling. And as always, folks, we love it when you reach out to us. We love your messages and comments on Twitter and Facebook. We love your emails, and we love your phone calls. And you know how to reach us. 2bulls@financialineptitude.com, or just pick up that phone, 725-22-BULLS. Maybe you got a hot stock tip. Maybe you want to tell us about a great sexual conquest you had the night before. I don't know. Come on, reach out, talk to us.
Please tell us that.
That's what this show's all about, getting laid, right? That's what we did. We made a show about getting laid.
That's the whole reason to try to make money.
I think it's time to talk about the bet.
Oh, right. Wait, we don't have music for that. I thought I was leading up to that. Got that all right. That was way too enthusiastic for my terrible performance.
We got some music. Yeah, why don't you lead us off, Kyle? Let us know how your pick did.
My pick,
Bed Bath & Beyond,
was doing great until the earnings were released Thursday morning. It was up to $21.57. I was on top of the world. And then they did not do well after that.
They missed their earnings, huh?
Yeah. I mean, it still made about 5%. So it opened at $17.97 on Monday, closed at $18.94. So my 500 is now $526.99. But when you were up 20% and looking like it was going to keep climbing, that's disappointing. Especially when you know what your partner picked.
Yes. I picked Neo, and coincidentally, when Bed Bath & Beyond was up right the day before that earnings call, some news came out that dropped Neo down for the day. So was that Wednesday? I think it was.
That was we're going to delist these stocks, and then no, we're not going to delist these stocks, and then yes, we are going to delist these stocks. Those are those Chinese telecoms.
And we're going to add two more.
And then maybe we'll throw Alibaba in there for the hell of it.
Yeah, Alibaba and Tencent. Yeah, we'll throw them in there. That drove Neo down, and I was really sad for the day. But by the end of the week, Neo was up. It opened Monday at 51.20. It ended Friday at 58.92, or about solid 15% gain, which puts me at 575.39.
Oof,
too shabby. I as long as I can avoid side bets, I could win this month.
I'm already in the hole. And remember, we also had a random stock.
That's right.
Which I'm proud to say we both managed to beat. SOLN, opened at 51.60 and closed at 51.63 for a new total of $500.29.
Oh, big mover on that random stock.
We lucked out on getting a random stock that was oil. I don't know if we could have gotten a luckier pull on that one.
Right. Oh, well, stay tuned to the end of the episode, folks. We'll let you know about the new bet and what the new random stock we're going up against is. But in the meantime, I think it's what we got going on. Is it time for the news?
Let's hear it.
Well, it's all for the money. Tune to the show. Need a good story so my margin grows. Or won't you listen to all our news? You might learn some things with the China Shop Market News.
I feel like we have to start off with the lead up to the whole events with the Capitol building. So Tuesday, the Democrats actually managed to take control of the Senate, giving them full control with the Democratic president.
Yes.
Pot stocks, EVs, alternative energy, consumer discretionary stocks are all climbing like crazy. And then the fiasco with the Capitol building happened. And the craziest thing was that the stocks still went up. While people were breaking into the offices and trashing the place, the stock market was still going up.
Market ignored the events at the Capitol. That's just noise.
Meanwhile, somebody throws a rock at a fucking embassy in Libya and fucking markets crash.
Right?
10,000 people storm the Capitol building and like, it's just Wednesday.
Right?
Jesus.
And I was braced too because I had moved on some options that were going to go. My value would go up along with the Nasdaq. So like when that started happening, I started freaking out. Like, oh shit, the value of these options is going to disappear. But no. I think the Nasdaq did 2.5% the next day.
Yeah, it closed at all-time highs on Friday. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah.
What a weird world.
Weird.
So first they didn't care about stimulus, but then every time stimulus got taken away, then the market would fall. Then they finally passed the stimulus. The market didn't jump. Now they have the possibility of getting more stimulus, and everyone's all excited again. I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's an emotional game, and it's hard to predict. It really is. I'm wondering if the fact that the markets are ignoring big political events like Wednesday is sign that we are in an overvalued bubble where people got their blinders on and they're just up.
Like, I don't know what it means, to be honest with you. It's just very strange. Usually big events like this where everyone freaks out on TV and has the next president making demands, and normally those kinds of things cause the market to crash, and for some reason that didn't happen. It means something, but damned if I know what that is.
Right. It appears for the moment, at least, the market is ignoring politics.
And maybe it's just that excited about the possibilities.
Yeah. Just the whispers of new stimulus. It's like, ooh, everybody's going to spend that money. They might spend it at my company.
Which is great because a lot of those consumer discretionaries, some of the ones that I was seeing that I was in that had been benefiting from the pandemic were getting rotated out of, I think. And then once those Georgia results happened, they started climbing again.
Yeah.
Things like Nordstrom and Sonos.
Yeah, right. I do think that the idea of no longer having a split Congress and a Democratic president, I do think we'll see a correction. Like there's going to be some pain ahead. I don't know specifically what the pain is going to be, but to me, the companies that I've already been long-term investing in, I should say the ETFs, things like electric vehicles and marijuana, I think they're going to be okay.
Well, I think we also need to be a little more clear on the split Congress, because the Senate is not 50-50 Democrat-Republican. There's actually two independents that get lumped in with the Democrats because that's who they caucus with.
Right.
But there's two independents that now are going to have a whole lot of power, and hopefully they're moderates. And they
like the new stimulus isn't for sure. I read one article. There's already a Democratic senator from Oregon that's like, I don't support that.
Right.
So it's if it's 50-50, you can't lose a single vote.
Right.
And when two of them are independents, one of which those independents is Bernie Sanders, who is, let's face it, to the left of where your average Democrat senator is.
I guess I should have looked into those names a little closer. I didn't realize Bernie Sanders was one of them. I would have said one independent then. Right. Yeah, look at that. Top quality research here in the China shop, guys.
Yep. No, we don't miss a thing. We don't miss a thing.
All right. Let's. What else do we got in the news, Dan? What do you got for us?
I came across something interesting going down this week. Cisco, the networking company, was merging with Acacia, a Chinese company. $2.6 billion merger. And then Acacia pulls out this week. They're like, yeah, we don't want to be a part of this.
Were they afraid that was Cisco going to get delisted?
I don't think that was the reason. Apparently, from my Crackerjack research team, companies trying to get out, they try to get out of mergers all the time, and it usually has nothing to do with whatever they're citing as the reason. Acacia said that the deal they're backing out because it wasn't approved by Chinese regulators.
We know how much power those guys have.
We actually do. And I think we'll hear more about their power in an upcoming news story very soon, maybe within minutes. And Cisco says they got a statement from the market regulators informing it that their submissions were sufficient to address the relevant competition concerns. So what's might have to be parsed out in court is whether sufficient to address relevant competition concerns is actually the regulators signing off on the deal or not.
Right.
They may go to court because Acacia's stock has been rising. I mean, it was up almost 10% Friday. The value of that stock now is significantly higher. I think the deal of the merger said that they'd get it like 70 or 80, and the stock's like at 90 or 95. The stock's at 80, and the merger is supposed to be completed at 70. So they've now hit a point where I think Acacia feels like, no, we're worth more than that now.
Like when AMD bought Xilinx and Salesforce made their acquisition, both of those, there was some kind of lawsuit that popped up. It seems like whenever these mergers and acquisitions happen, somebody jumps in and says, wait a minute, did you get the best deal you could get? I don't think anything comes of them most of the time, but I don't know, maybe there was something involved with that too.
I don't understand how Cisco could go to court to force a Chinese company to merge with them.
Oh, I'm sure you could ask for it, but nobody's going to be obligated to, I guess, listen to you or do what you say.
Right? No, you're going to merge with us whether you like it or not.
Somebody sued me in Tanzania, I would think I'd tell them to go fuck themselves.
Right. Really? You wouldn't buy a plane ticket to go to Tanzania to answer the charges?
No.
Your honor is on the line, sir. Your honor.
Also, wouldn't give them my house if they won their settlement.
Anyway, so China has little to win by approving the deal of having one of their companies merge with Cisco right now in terms of value. I actually am thinking that when China, last week we talked about how China was like, there's gonna be repercussions for delisting.
Oh, maybe that's part of it.
I think this is part of it. I think China is going to start making any trouble they can for American companies because of the delisting stuff.
Oh, that's a good reason to not be in Tesla anymore then, because a lot of their market is in China, isn't it?
Their growing market. Yeah, China's a huge market right now.
For Tesla especially.
And they've been setting up factories. But, Tesla's also got plenty of competition there.
All right, so this is going to be a real Asia-heavy news segment, I think, because speaking of power of the regulators, I want to touch on a little bit more about Alibaba. I think I forwarded you the article. I saw a report saying that Jack Ma has not been even seen in public for months. And as part of that, he missed the finale of his own show that he runs in, I think it's in Africa. I'm not sure what the exact show was, but he'd been planning on attending it to meet the winner of his show. The fact that he missed that, hasn't been seen at all in public, hasn't made any events, hasn't talked to anybody. The only people that have been saying he's even okay are his friends that are just saying, yeah, he's just hiding. I don't know. I'm a little worried for him. I hope that's what it is, and I hope he's just hiding out and keeping his head down after, the remarks that he made at that conference in October.
At the risk of angering China, because I don't think they're going to send anybody to mess with me here in Arizona. If I was one of Jack Ma's friends and the Chinese government grabbed him and told me, tell everybody he's okay, I would tell everybody he's okay.
Yeah, you think that the guy would let a tweet out or something and be like, yeah, just watching a movie, chilling in my digs, enjoying my 37 billion, something.
Right. But no, his friends, he's just laying low. The Chinese government didn't grab him. He's not in a cell.
And on a not quite related, but kind of related, I did see that China sentenced to death some business mogul for some kind of fraud charges. So
they sentenced him to death on fraud charges.
Not Jack Ma. This was another famous person there. Let's see if I can find the story real quick. Okay, top banker for corruption and bigamy.
Wow.
One of these things is not like the other. All right, Chinese court sentenced former baker and party official to death in a high-profile bribery, embezzlement, and bigamy case that has shocked the country. Does bigamy mean something different in China, or are they lumping those together?
I don't know. Maybe bigamy is a capital offense. They're like, you had more than one wife, you bastard.
Yeah, it is. He was found guilty of bigamy for living as a man and wife with another woman and fathering children, and of embezzling more than 25 million yuan in public funds.
Wow.
Yeah, sentenced to death. So, yeah, they're not afraid to sentence, high-ranking people to death there, and hopefully Ma's okay.
I'll tell you this, Kyle. Paying attention to stock market news, which has led me to pay attention to a lot more news out of China, I'm a lot happier being an American. I mean, I'm not to say I was never unhappy being an American. I'm just saying, the freedoms I have, I'm starting to appreciate them more than I ever had.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I like living in a country where a white-collar crime doesn't lead to death. If I ever decide to embezzle millions from our company, I know I won't be killed for it.
Not from the government, yeah.
Well, maybe by you, but not by the government.
We're at the point where we have millions. As long as you don't take it all, I think I'll take that at this point.
Explain that to your wife.
All right, there's still more to this Alibaba, though. So as you recall, we're talking about the antitrust probe that they're going through. Well, China's now censoring their state media on it.
Oh.
And we also touched on this a little bit earlier, but they're also one of the stocks now being considered for delisting in U.S. exchanges.
Yeah. Wow. So it's secret government judgment.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yes.
What's crazy is I just saw on Jim Cramer on Friday, they were like, Baba's at a buy. I was like, yeah, I thought, looking at it, the price, I'm like, yeah, it's at a buy. But with all the context of it, I don't think it's a buy.
Yeah, I'm afraid of it right now. Like I said, I sold mine off last week. I think I'm done with them for a while, at least until there's some positive news coming out. Or, Jack Ma pokes his head up and says, hi, guys, why is everyone so upset?
So Jack Ma pokes his head up and then says, hey, guys, why is everybody so upset? By the way, I'm stepping down and this other person's going to run Alibaba. That's when I'll get into it.
Actually, I probably should have mentioned this when we first started talking about it, but Jack Ma actually already has stepped down. He hasn't ran the company for a couple of years now. He's just, I think, a majority shareholder. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Was he actually running Ant, or he was just poised to make even more billions off of Ant?
He's one of the major stakeholders of Ant, too, so he was just poised to make money. I think everything that China's doing to Alibaba and with the Ant IPO is all just designed to hurt him financially after his statements.
Yeah, some sort of weird retribution.
Yep.
Wow.
All right, Dan.
Wow.
Give us another news story.
All right. I like to pay attention to metals and their value. And we've talked previously before about how a traditional hedge for inflation is precious metals, gold and silver, both of which are used in manufacturing. Well, it seems this week, I should say Friday specifically, gold plunged 4%, and silver went down 10%. As U.S. Treasury yields it went up, and the value of the U.S. dollar was going up. So the value of gold and silver were going down.
That's interesting because your XME, your metal and mining fund, I mean, it dipped down a little bit yesterday, I think, but on the whole, it's been up on the week, 10%.
Yeah, it ended Friday at 36 something.
So it's just the gold and silver then is what it's looking like? It's not all metals?
Yeah, not all metals. The XME is metals and mining. But just, gold and silver in terms of them being used as a hedge against inflation. Mm-hmm. We're seeing people moving out of gold and silver. The Treasury yield bonds, the 10-year bonds went up, which means, despite the fact that the Fed is still printing money like gangbusters, and that's what's driving the equities market, bonds went up. In fact, I was reading that some people are speculating the Fed might have to change what they're doing because they don't want that bond yield to go up so fast.
I think Bitcoin is actually starting to take the place of gold as the inflation hedge, the way that it's been running.
That's exactly a lot of what I've been seeing. A lot of the analysis of gold going down. Bitcoin topped 40 grand. On Friday. Yeah,
I actually found a stock ticker talking to a guy at work. He gave it to me. GBTC. That is an index fund, basically, that you can use to track Bitcoin. But that one's been hitting new highs. Bitcoin's been hitting new highs. Bitcoin now has options available for 300,000 now. I mean, I think Bitcoin is now the new hedge. And also, if Scott's still listening in Arizona, I'd like to know what happened, or what you did with your gold fund. If you if you're still riding it out, or if you ended up cashing out when it was trading a little more favorably last week.
Yep, Scott, please let us know because I feel bad. I've been bullish on metals, and I remember expressing a bullish sentiment. Yeah, GBTC, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. That's got my attention. That could be the fourth ETF in my long-term plan. I've been looking for a fourth.
I think if you're going to play with that, though, just put a real tight stop loss on that guy. With the way the volatility of Bitcoin is, you just never know when it's going to lose 80%.
Right. In 2017, it had that 85% pullback. And the volatility has gone up. The implied volatility has gone up now that it's broken 40,000. Because remember, just in December, it was at 20,000. So
yeah, damn it.
That's pretty quick. I've told you, I've got a few friends that trade heavy in the cryptos, and they're all doing just fine.
Yep. Sure, they're really happy right now.
Just fine.
I want to talk about Neo Day. I was gonna not mention any of this until after the bet picks were made to try to keep you from staying in your bet pick for another week.
Oh, for doing exactly what I'm going to do? I mean, you don't know.
Well, yeah.
I could pick any stock.
I'm pretty sure you're going to be riding this. So Neo unveiled their new ET7 sedan. The cost is going to be between $70,000 and $81,000 depending on the options. You can even get it cheaper if you go for a subscription plan for the batteries. That just comes with a monthly fee, but keeps you from having to buy the battery pack. So with the subscription plan, instead of waiting for you to have to charge the batteries, this allows you to go to a charging station, have them swap them out, and it's a process that takes about 3 minutes, I think.
Damn.
So basically like going to a gas station and filling up a tank. The units should be shipping in early 22, so not quite ready yet. They also, as part of this, revealed a new 150 kilowatt battery pack.
Whoa.
And this is where the comparisons to Tesla come in. The range that they're claiming is 1,000 kilometers on a single charge, and that's about 621 miles.
Holy shit.
The Tesla Model 3, for comparison, is 263 miles per charge, or 353 if you get the long-range version. And on top of that, they also announced that they partnered with NVIDIA to develop autonomous driving capabilities, which they already claim that what they have now is better than Tesla's.
Wow.
So Neo is going to be hot next week, I think. I think that thing is going to be screaming.
Well, goddamn, I'm glad I've been in Neo for a while.
And I have a feeling I'm going to be losing this month's bet.
Oh, well, I hope so, but I am biased, so.
All right. Do you have any other stories? I got a couple other quick ones.
I don't.
Okay. I wanted to quickly touch on Plug. Plug recently received an investment, a $1.5 billion investment, as they entered a partnership with the SK Group. The goal of this is to accelerate hydrogen economy expansion in Asian markets. That stock was flying on Friday on this news.
They've been flying a lot.
Yeah. I got a real quick, just kind of fun story here, but kind of scary at the same time. We like our Elon Musk stories, so here's one for you. Elon Musk told his followers a couple days ago, or just recently, to use Signal. He's referring to this messaging app called Signal, but there's an unrelated company called Signal Advance, and its stock price rose 1,100% on the news of that message.
What?
Yeah. How crazy is it that one tweet can send a stock, 11-fold jump in price like that? That's insanity.
What?
Yeah.
No, that just goes to show how much of an emotional game this is.
Yeah, but what's to stop somebody like that from, looking up a random stock, buying a bunch of it, and then saying, "Hey, I think this is a good buy." Boom, 1,200%. You just, Like, what's to stop somebody from doing that?
Nothing. I want to be that famous.
Good Lord. Yeah. Hey, guys, buy Neo. We're buying it. Tell your friends. All right. Well, I think that wraps up news. Finally.
Wrapping up news. All right. Hey, folks, just so you know, Two Bulls in a China Shop, brought to you by Sue Pullen at Fairway Independent Mortgage, an equal housing lender. Sue Pullen is a certified mortgage advisor who focuses on finding the right product for you and your needs. She's got over 20 years experience and has helped thousands of homeowners. And whether it's purchasing, refinancing, or even a reverse mortgage, Sue will help. Licensed in 25 states and growing, reach out, see what Sue could do for you. Best way to reach her is just give her an email at spullen@fairwaymc.com. That's spullen, Pullen, at fairwaymc.com. Fairway Independent Mortgage has an MLS number of 2289, and Sue Pullen has an MLS number of 206048. So reach out, see what she can do for you.
Find out what Sue can do for you.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we need to trademark that before she does and hold it hostage for more ad revenue.
Yeah, right. Charge her for it. Yeah, and if you bought a bunch of Bitcoin a few years ago, you might be in the market for a lot of houses. So
yeah,
now's the time.
No kidding.
Yeah, move that into real estate before the Bitcoin bubble bursts.
Yeah, that's solid advice.
Hey, Kyle, you know what time it is? It's time for some stocks.
Music? We got music this time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cue the music.
Just put those stock tickers on the list. Go through the charts so nothing gets missed. Today's trades, they could all turn to gold. I'm playing stocks till I'm out of the hole.
Oh, so I all my action was in options. But I feel like I need to talk about the results of those options, because at one point I moved my stock money into my options bets, and then when the bets ended, I moved them back in. That happened on Wednesday.
Okay.
So literally, I sold off all my long-term stocks for the options bet. On Wednesday, I moved back in to Hale, the electric vehicle ETF. I moved back into, I actually split between the 3-pot ETFs that I like. I split the money 3 ways because I couldn't decide which one.
Yeah.
MJ, YOLO, and MSOS. And then I moved into a new one that I wasn't previously into before, which was TAN, TAN, is a solar energy ETF, because I'm like, the Democrats took the Senate, or well, barely. The Democrats tied the Senate. So those were my moves. I mean, I bought in on these on the 6th, just from the 6th, just the 6th, 7th, and 8th. The EV ETF, Hale, HAIL, up 8.5%. 3 days. The ETF is up 8.5%.
Hang on, I'm not sure I was following you when you said that. Are you saying the days you missed were up 8.5%?
No, I'm saying I bought back in on the 6th, which I believe was Wednesday.
So you have good moves to report. That's a change.
Fuck you. Yes. And of course, marijuana, MJ, is up 11% since I bought it on Wednesday. Like, these are 3 days. 3-day moves. 11%, YOLO up 9%, MSOS up 7%.
Have your marijuana stocks, have they been kind of falling off towards the end of the week? So I feel like mine spiked and then have been kind of coming back down to earth.
Oh, they did. They spiked Thursday. They hit their highs. Friday they slid back. But they're still, for the week, the trajectory is very up.
So you remember that bill that they passed in the House to decriminalize marijuana? Mm-hmm. That never got voted in the Senate?
Yep.
Like, is that one they can still bring up now? Is that something we're going to see here in the future? Like, real soon?
Oh, yes.
'Cause I feel like if that vote goes through and they actually do decriminalize it, take it off the schedule list, we could see another really big jump.
Oh, yes, I agree, and we will. But I don't think it will happen fast because the focus right now is on the COVID and the stimulus. As far as we've been told by President-elect Biden. Wait, Vice President-elect President Biden. President-elect Vice President Biden. There we go.
Yeah,
President-elect Vice President Biden. He's going to focus on moving the economy and getting the virus under control first. So I don't expect this to happen till the summer, but we don't know when it'll happen. But I do believe it will happen.
I imagine it might happen sooner rather than later because we're going to need some more revenue coming in to fund all these projects that the Democrats want to implement. In fact, you might see
Kyle. They're going to raise taxes. That's what they'll do.
Yeah, let's see how much people love that.
Anyway, yeah, so that's the only exciting stuff I had in stocks. I did lose some money on JMIA. That hurt my soul. I made some money on QS. They had another 30% drop on Monday, which I bought in after on Tuesday, and then rode it up for a bit, and now they're dropping back down. Yeah, I think I sold on Thursday. That's about my story in stocks.
You done with your stocks?
I am done with my stocks. I just wanted to plug and let people know that right now, Hale, the EV ETF, and all of the marijuana ETFs doing great right now.
Solar, fuel cells, fucking Bloom Energy, all those have been pushing highs again.
Yeah. Well, that's part of like owning the Hale ETF is let the ETF pick the individual companies.
But you said Hale was EV. I'm talking about alternative energy too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a really good point. They're all going up.
Yep.
TAN, the solar ETF that I moved into, It opened the week at 105 and it's end the week at 119. So
I think your Friday Pick'em contribution for this week was a solar company as well, Sunrun, I believe.
Yes, they're hitting new 52-week highs. They're a company that I've traded in the past when they were doing a good run.
Yeah.
Sunrun started the week at 70, which was where they were at when I was playing with them. That was about as high as it got, and I sold out and they dipped down. They ended the week at $97.30.
Right.
So,
blue wave.
37% in the past week. I didn't see it coming. Honestly, I didn't think the Dems had a chance until the day before the election. That's when it clicked in my brain. Like, Dan, you're framing this wrong.
Yes.
Anyway, all right. So, what did you have going on in stocks this week, Kyle?
Not a whole lot. I still holding on to my Bed Bath & Beyond shares. I tried to sell them pre-market when I saw the miss.
Yeah.
I had a chance to get out at $20 a share, and I did not click the stupid AM extended hours option on there. I scrolled down to get it. Didn't get it in time, and I ended up missing out on it, so now I'm stuck holding those. I still think they're going to rise, just on the hopes of more stimulus and just having Democrats win control of everything. I think it's going to cause that to go up once everyone gets over the news of them and their earnings loss or miss. But yeah, I'm still stuck holding those, even though I need to get rid of some of them so I can clear up my margin balance. The only other move I actually made was I sold Nike in my Roth account. I remember I bought those right before Nike reported their earnings. I sold those for a slight, 5% gain, and then I moved all of that into FSell. And I did that because I was seeing options alerts on FSell coming up.
Yeah, I gotta say, FSell on my bouncers watch list, and they haven't gone down for a while.
Yeah.
Like, I'm about to move them off the bouncers list to just this one's going up list.
Well, the next segment, we get the options. I got some alerts. I think they're part of that. But yeah, it's a slow week for me in stocks, so I did most of my stuff in options this week. I do have some earnings to go over. For reals this time, I know I've even mentioned it the last 3 weeks in a row, and I don't even care about this company anymore. Carnival Cruise Lines, on Monday, confirmed this time they will report their earnings. I don't even know why we're still talking about it anymore. I think it's just kind of turned into a bit of a joke now at this point. But two that I actually am kind of excited for are three of them. On the 14th, we've got Taiwan Semiconductors, TSM, also Delta Airlines. TSM has been trading at an all-time high, around 118. I'd been playing with that one, but it was below 100. Don't have any more position in there. I'm kind of wishing I still did. I think the lead up to their earnings release is going to be good. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do enough to keep that run going. Delta...
Well, I've heard that there's actually a shortage of semiconductors at the moment.
Really? I know there's a shortage of cards, because I think Bitcoin has gotten profitable again, so nobody can find GPUs anymore. Video cards are hard to find. Excuse me.
Everything is getting computerized, and semiconductors are part of every computer, so yeah, we've hit a global shortage of semiconductors. We can't make them fast enough.
Well, if you recall, we saw FedEx run out of space on their trucks, and they still went down. So I'm not sure.
That's true.
I think when something's had this much of a run, I'm not sure that it's going to keep going. Delta, I'm more interested in if they post another bad report. If that stock drops, I'm wondering if now is the time to start trying to jump into some of these airline stocks.
Well, especially as vaccines roll out.
Right.
Every person that gets a vaccine is going to be like, well, I can fly. Hey,
exactly.
I just got over the virus, and now I'm thinking well, I'm good.
Yeah, you should be safe, right? All right, on the 15th, we've got JP Morgan. They've recently just had a bunch of price upgrades, and I know I saw an options alert on them, but damned if I can find it anymore. I did save the calls when that came out, and it was a $140 calls that expired in, I think it was either the 15th or the 22nd, I can't remember. But it had to have been the 22nd. I think it was the week after the earnings. That's why I was excited for seeing that alert come out.
Options alert along with earnings.
That might be one to try to ride through earnings. It's a little pricey, though. It's trading around 136 right now. And then the last one I have on my list, it's actually, they report Monday after the bell, is Logitech. That one's trading at all-time highs, and I'm only mentioning this because I'm thinking about shorting this stock right before their earnings are released. This one I think is going to run up until their earnings comes out, and I think it's going to fall after they do. I think some of these stocks are getting to the point where expectations are just too high.
Yeah.
Like they're just getting unrealistic.
Are we ready to move on to options?
Yeah. Music.
You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to sold 'em, know when to walk away. Those calls are done, you never count your money. When you're holding on to contracts, there'll be time enough for counting when the options exercise.
Yeehaw! All right. This week I had the best options movement of my life. I feel like I finally saw some options success with MJ. And if you recall, I had, as the price of my option that expired, it's actually expired on the 15th, though I moved out of all of them.
Yeah.
I kept, as it went down, I kept buying more. And it resulted in, I actually did, at its lowest price, buy maybe a third to a quarter of my total that I ended up having. And so we hit this week with the Georgia election. Oh, wow. I saw MJ, I had $15 calls, and MJ was at like 14 and change, like 1430, 1440. And it went up like I could not have dreamed. of those call. The lowest price I bought at was at 39 cents. I think I had to buy them at 40 because Robinhood. But anyway, yeah, like 40 cents a contract. When it hit 90 cents a contract, I played it safe. I part of me, like, you know, we were texting. I wanted to, like, you only live once. I go all in, but I thought, no. The week before, I had been so down and miserable about how much I had been lost when it had gone down to 40. I vowed to myself, you will make a profit when you're able to make a profit. So I sold 3/4 of them, and I know I could have made a lot more money on this, but I'm still proud that I sold 3/4 of them when it hit 90 cents. Which put me at a profit for the whole trade. Like, I made my money back, plus I think I gave myself like 10 or 15%.
It was about 12, I think you texted me, yeah.
Yeah, 12. So I sold those off, and then I moved back into my long-term positions that I'd sold off to move into the MJ options when they were so cheap. I knew it was risky, and I sweated for a while, but it ended up working. And then the next day I sold a couple, and then the next day I sold them all for, I don't even have the percentage in front of me. But yeah, I made quite a bit of money, almost between 50 and 70%ish, which is huge. That's a huge movement, because at one point, and I'm not recommending this to anybody, at one point when those options hit 40 cents, I literally moved my entire Robinhood portfolio into those options. That's all I had.
Wow, that's ballsy.
It was ballsy, but it worked. And so now, like, I think I looked at what I was doing for the month, and it was at almost almost 200%. Oh, best trade of my life. I know I just had one of those a couple weeks ago in stocks, but when you do it in options, it feels a lot more satisfying.
Oh, with options, because you can turn $1,000 into 12,000 like with the snap of a finger.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, if I had it would have been the wrong move. But if I had just kept them all and sat, I would have tripled my gains. From what my gain for the month was 200%. I would have been like 600% or 500%. It was ridiculous.
I'll tell you why that was the bad move, to just leave it all in there, because that's what I did with Bed Bath & Beyond and my options. When I had a chance to sell the ones that I had for about a 75 cent a contract gain, and I didn't because I was being stubborn and I wanted a certain price and I didn't get it. And I was also so confident that they were going to do well that it just felt like everything had flipped. I was back on top, and no. When the world crashes down on you and you lose everything, then you wish you sold some of it to block that, at least not a loss in.
That's honestly why on the lead up to the Georgia election, when it hit 90 cents a contract, I sold as many as I did.
Yep.
Because I didn't want to be in that position. And a week earlier, I had been in the position where it's like, wow, I've really lost so much money on these stupid MJ options. Why am I doing this? I didn't want to go back to there.
Such an emotional roller coaster.
So was that this week that Bed Bath & Beyond happened? Because that's all I really have for options this week is I sold my MJ calls.
Yeah, that was this week. Luckily, the ones I have expire next week, so I've got a little bit of time to try to recoup some of that value. But they're $20 calls in a stock that's trading at like 19.
That's rough.
So, yeah, and I had a bigger premium because I think I bought them when they were trading about 19 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. Yeah, next week for me is going to be rough because I'll be eating losses from those options contracts. I've also got JMIA that I'll probably be eating because I don't think that's getting up to $50 a share here in the next 5 days.
They plummeted. We didn't talk about that in stocks, did we? JMIA plummeted this week.
And then it rebounded, and then it fell again yesterday. It looked like it was going to keep jumping, and it did not. I've also got Clorox puts that are expiring. I sold 3/4 of those off previously. I think we talked about those. So what I have left is paid for, but it's still going to show up as a loss for the week, as realized because I already counted the other when I do my trade log for the week. The only thing I got going for me right now is Neo.
Oh, Neo.
I bought $55 calls that expire next Friday at $4.50 a contract. Sold half of them yesterday just before close. It's basically 607.5 average, and got the rest of them still in hand. I almost sold another one. If the price would have hit 650, I would have sold another 25%. Just missed that target, so I'm still holding half of them. And oh boy, I've never been so happy to miss a target.
Right?
Just Saturday, just the Neo day. I mean, oh boy, I think Monday's going to be huge. The only other trade I made was I texted you when the JP Morgan option alert came out. Bank of America had another one for $33 or $34 calls actually.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I actually bought some of those Bank of America calls, and then it went down.
I bought them at $33 calls because I wanted to get closer to I didn't think Bank of America is one of those stocks that's going to move a whole lot. So I tried to get closer to the actual. I think they were in the money when I bought them. I knew I should have waited and not bought them when I did.
Yeah.
I knew it. I didn't do it. I got excited when it started going back up again. I bought them at 113 on Thursday, and then Friday dropped. Let's see, what are they worth now? 83 cents right now. So yeah, it sucks to take a 30-cent loss on those contracts just right off the bat. When I knew I could have waited a day, I knew to wait. I didn't wait, but I might buy some more.
Yeah.
Depending on what JP Morgan does, I might buy some more of these.
I bought 33.50. I bought calls at 33.50.
That's right. Yeah. And that's what the alert was for.
I bought them at 86 cents a contract, and they're currently at 63 cents a contract. So
not as bad. That's why you don't. That's the downside of buying them closer to the money. You pay more, but you lose more value. But it also goes up faster when it goes the other direction.
Right. And they expire the 29th. So
that's the week that their earnings come out, I believe.
I actually am looking at Monday buying more.
I am thinking about waiting to see what JP Morgan does on the 15th because I mean, they're basically the same sector. They're pretty similar. I think that's going to tell you more than anything else what Bank of America is looking towards.
You see, I just feel like the sentiment towards banking right now is good, and seeing those options alerts
with the yields rising, Democratic victories, all this, everything is also jobless claims being better than expected. All that's good for the financials. I
think just like I did with marijuana, like as it drops, if I keep putting more in, I think, like you said, those earnings, we'll see. This week will be very telling because a lot of times there are just a lead up to earnings regardless of what the earnings end up becoming. Yep.
And I also think if JP Morgan has good earnings, you'll probably see some sympathy trading with Bank of America. If JP Morgan has a jump, then Bank of America will most likely jump as well.
Yes.
All right.
That'll be fun.
Should we close up with some alerts?
Yeah. What are the alerts we've seen?
All right. We already kind of talked about JP Morgan and Bank of America. Plug Power, I mentioned this a little bit earlier, I think. $1.19 million invested in $30 strike with a March 19th expiration date. And this bet was made after the SK deal was announced. That's a big bullish bet, but if you look at the fine print, it's a little bit more mixed overall. Let's see, there were $36 calls bought and sold minutes apart. So that means somebody bought a whole bunch of $36 calls and somebody sold a whole bunch of them. $1.55 million bearish bet, $1.81 million bullish bet, and then a February 19th $49 puts were bought with a $609 bearish bet. So 2 bullish moves, 2 bearish moves. People are kind of mixed on that one.
They've moved up so much that I get hesitant, but then again, like look at Tesla. They keep moving up.
Yep.
Hydrogen is the big deal, and it's only going to get bigger.
Last one I have on my list, Skechers. Next Friday, $35 calls, $1.3 million bet. And let's pull up Skechers real quick, because I think they might have earnings coming up too. No, earnings February 4th. Why are people excited about this? That's an interesting one.
That's a good question. I have no idea.
Tempted to make that my bet pick.
I think it's stimulus news striking back. Like we saw people buying a lot of Nike all through last year.
Yeah, but
People buying shoes when they're not going outside. I don't know.
That's a weird one. That's why I threw that on my list, because that one was just kind of strange in general. I think that wraps up our options segment.
Ooh. All right. Well, what does that bring us to? So Kyle, what did you have for the good?
The only thing good I can point to is my Neo calls. And I'm calling this early. I should probably wait until they're actually good next week, but still feeling strong.
Oh, they were what, $55 strike price?
Yeah. Trading at $59.
Well, yeah, they're
currently worth about $6.
Yeah, I think you're doing okay.
Yeah, but a lot of the volatilities that was built into those, it's going to lose a lot of that as soon as now that Neo Day is over. So once they open, they're probably going to lose about $2 worth of value off the bat.
Really?
Yeah. That's just like buying options that expire after an earnings release, because the uncertainty of the earnings is going to be priced into it. So you'll notice like the day after the earnings are announced, you automatically lose a large percentage of the options values.
Even on a put?
Either way.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
I did not know that.
That's part of the volatility factor. Which was that the Vega?
Yeah, the Vega.
Yeah.
Well, my good was my MJ options, because I got to sell the last of them above my dream target when I was buying them.
That's always good.
Always good. I ended up, the lowest I bought, I first bought them at $1.20, and I kept buying them as they dropped all the way down to 40 cents. And I think the last ones I bought were at, the last ones I sold, when I sold the last of them, it was at $2.
Nice.
And
oh yeah, that feels good.
I honestly, right? And I didn't think they would get above $1.50 when I sold them. Mm-hmm. Like when I was originally laying out all my different plans for how to move forward with MJ, depending on what it did, like my dream scenario was it gets to $1.50.
Remember that time I bought a Zoom call that expired right after their earnings were reported? That was $100 out of the money and ended up making me like $2,000 or $3,000, like off of one contract.
Oh, yes. So crazy. So crazy.
Oh, I fucking love options.
Right? I can't quit you.
That's your bad.
I forgot to cover this in options, but I actually did buy some Neo calls.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And I bought them right before it dropped, and because I didn't give them time. I was like, this is just. I had gold rush fever. Okay, I did so well on MJ options, and my account was so flush with cash that I was like, yeah, I'll buy some Neo options that expire Friday.
Why Friday? Why'd you pick Friday? That's what I can't figure out.
No, I don't know. I
don't know the whole thing was about Neo Day.
Right. So it was the gold rush fever, man.
Yeah.
I was just like,
real.
those, buy
it's
them.
real, folks.
And then, yeah, exactly what I started thinking to myself, because when it went down, normally, if I'm buying options on something I believe in, like MJ or Neo, I want to give it some time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it went down and deflated, and the next day, it never quite got back. So I sold them for a bit of a loss. And then Friday, I've never held an option to the day it expires. So I don't know if I don't know if I would have been able to, what I would have been able to sell them for, but I sold them at a slight loss. I think I lost like 10% on them.
Yeah,
15%. That was
terrible,
definitely bad.
Yeah,
for options,
would have been up quite a bit if you would have waited one more day.
Or if I bought them for the next week and yeah, exactly, leaned more money into it, yeah, I'd be doing just fine. But
yeah,
whatever, live and learn.
All right.
What was your bad?
My Bank of America options trade. I knew it as I was doing it. I should have waited. Always get a better price than what the alert comes out at, and I didn't.
Right.
And I paid the price. We have the benefit
it's not
of being able to buy smaller amounts so we don't have to take whatever price, we get. We need to use that to our advantage to try to squeeze out the little bit of extra margin that we can.
And I also knew the same thing, and I made the same mistake with Bank of America.
What was your ugly?
Oh, that would have been my my JMIA shares.
Oh, that's funny. We had the same thing, except mine were options that are now completely worthless.
we did have the same thing. JMIA started the week at 38, and I had I had shares. And of course, was it the 6th, the day that my MJ was doing so good, I sold it because by the 6th, when I sold it, it had dropped almost 15% for the week. Mm-hmm. And so it hit my stop loss.
Yeah.
And so I sold out of my Jumia. And then literally the next day, it's back up to 36. It jumps like...
Jumped like $5 or $6. It was a big rebound.
It went from 33 up to 37, and then it ended the day at 39. Yeah. Went from 33 to 39. It ended the day higher than it was when it opened the week. So I was like, you stupid stop loss. And of course it ended the week at 37. So lost a good amount of money by Jumia by having a stop loss, and that was pretty ugly for me.
I lost a good amount on Jumia on my options calls, and I don't think there's anything saving it. That needs to hit $50 in 5 days, so I need... See, if it's trading at 37, I need about... I need over $2 a day on average for it to rise. And that's just to get to in the money. That's not even to make money. So I still had to cover the premium.
So... You just needed to go up 35%. No big deal.
Yeah. I think that qualifies for ugly.
Yes.
All right, Dan. Let's wrap this episode up. Let's wrap it up with the bet.
Stocks in the center of a universe. That's for every one of us. Consequence for one of us. Make our picks with no regret. Every open, every close, every spread. It's the mighty bet.
God damn, I love that song.
Loser goes first.
Oh, man, I'm so not used to doing that. Although I should get used to it because I've done it twice in a row now.
Yeah.
All right, I was initially thinking about Skechers, but I've decided to change my mind. I did a quick check on Grayscale Bitcoin Trust that we were looking at earlier, and seeing that it dropped on Friday makes me a little bit happier about trying to pick that one. I think I'm gonna go with them. I'm gonna put my trust in Bitcoin this week.
Ooh,
lock it in. Final answer.
Oh, snap. So, okay, that's not a bad bet. I mean, the volatility's high. It could go down, but
it can go
I'm not going to lie.
But this was the only one that should at least scare you.
Kyle, 2 weeks ago, when I was talking to my friend and we were going to set up that guest appearance interview, I left that. And he invited me to Coinbase. It's an app for trading cryptocurrencies. And I was like, I think I'll buy this Ethereum. It's not Bitcoin. It's a different cryptocurrency.
I know, that's the other,
It was at 700, and now it's at like 1,200.
Yep.
Like, I never hit a buy point. I never got in on it, and now I'm like, what was I thinking? Anyway, that's not my bet, though. I do think that that's a good bet pick, and you're going to be competitive, or you're going to be really crying.
This bet could be over. This bet could be over 2 weeks into the month.
Yeah, this could lock in the end because you know that I'm doing the old double down on Neo.
I know,
and like you did with Virgin Galactic.
Well, to be fair, do I have to beat you now, or am I just trying to beat random?
For me to put a consequence on you? No,
I guess
gotta
you
beat
still
me.
get that. Yeah, okay, fine. That's just for the listeners to try to get in on it.
Oh, speaking of the random,
You ready?
now that we both have our bet picks, I am ready. What's the random pick
right.
that we're competing against?
I'm on randomstock.net. I have New York Stock Exchange selected, and I'm clicking the button to get a stock.
All right.
Oh, no.
All right.
That's a tough one. Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines, RCL. Shit.
Oh, they don't have earnings this week, do they?
No, but Carnival does, and if Carnival reports anything positive, they can go up on sympathy. And these guys are big beneficiaries of stimulus news.
Stimulus and vaccine news.
Yeah. Oh, that could be a rough one.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it. Oh, we lucked out last month. We lucked out last week, but our luck is run dry.
Stupid random. All right. Well, I'm excited to find out what happens.
On that terrible disappointment, as they say on Top Gear.
All right. Well, folks, thanks for sticking around, joining us. We love you. And we're looking forward to reaching out in next week's episode. Find out who won the bet.
And send us your consequences because you've actually got a good shot, it's looking like now.
Yes. Send in your best consequences that don't involve breaking the law or getting canceled. And I'll make sure that that's what happens to Kyle when I inevitably beat him in the month of January. 2021's my year!
Can I pick Royal Caribbean as my stock? Is it too late? I can never lose to the random stock if I just pick the random stock, right?
If you just pick the random stock, that's technically correct, which as Futurama would say is the best kind of correct.
I just remembered my my more options contribution.
Oh yeah, what is it?
More options than Henry Wu at a frog park.
Henry Wu at a frog park?
Yeah, it's a thinker. Assume you're not a Jurassic Park fan.
Oh, was Henry Wu the Asian geneticist?
Yes, he was. The one who spliced the frog DNA into the dinosaurs.
Oh shit, that's the nerdiest thing we've said on this podcast.
This is nerdy as I've
I thought
gotten.
it would be for me. I thought it would be for me. But no, it was not. And you judge my options jokes. Wow.
I was intentionally trying to make it as bad as I could.
Oh. All right. Have a great week, folks. Happy trading. We'll see you next time in the China shop.
Bye, folks.
Two Bulls in a China Shop is an entertainment program, and all thoughts and opinions expressed in the show belong to the hosts and not of any company. They are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual or on any specific security or investment product. It is only intended to provide entertainment about stocks in the financial industry of trading. If you make trades based on what you hear in this show, you assume all risks for those trades.